I want to continue with this moment. I want to stay in the moment. If I don't, I want to move on to find somebody who doesn't want this relationship just for a moment. I want the relationship to last, forever. Like you just said, that's your forever girl. Well, your forever girl is telling you you're not a forever guy. You're just a moment guy. So keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. What's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of Nerdy Dating. I'm your host, Zakka. And what is Nerdy Dating? It is a relationship advice podcast from a viewpoint of a nerd. Please like, please share, please subscribe with your friends and family. Tell everybody about the podcast. And there's a question you guys want me to answer, you can send to my inbox on Instagram, TikTok, or you put in the comment section below. And Instagram and TikTok is Nerdy Dating with Zakka, or alizakkanerdydating is the username you can find from there. Also, you can send your emails to alizakkanerdydating@gmail.com. That's alizakkanerdydating@gmail.com. Now let's go ahead and get into today's episode. Open up the questions. We'll hop right into it. So the first question: my son's girlfriend comes from money. We do not. My son's 20-year-old and his girlfriend 19. They've both been dating for a year. They just finished college. My son still lives with me. His girlfriend moved into her own apartment with a friend. I'm a single parent. I tried to give my son what I could. He's working now in a kitchen restaurant while looking for a better job. His girlfriend comes from money. Very different from what my son's used to. He never complains or asks for anything. He's an adult now, of course, but I'm still a little worried. How can he live up to the lifestyle her dad providing her? My son's trying to save for a deposit to move closer to the city where the jobs he's looking for are at and where his girlfriend now lives. Her dad does everything for her. My son visits her on the weekends, and her dad will often take him out to fancy restaurants. I know my son won't let people pay for him, so his savings are going to expensive outings. His girlfriend is lovely. I can see they're really good together. She doesn't ask my son for anything, but I know him. And I've raised him to be responsible. But now I'm worried he's trying to match her dad, and obviously he can't. What's the right thing to do? And they said, too long didn't read. My son's girlfriend comes from money. We don't. How can I help him? In this situation, it just advise your son, like, hey, you do not have to compete with her dad. You're young. Get your money, get your bread, like start working on yourself as far as like financial wise. If your girlfriend's around you and she doesn't ask for expensive stuff and all these things, that's great. Keep existing in the present moment with your girlfriend, but you don't try to outspend your means for her. If you want to save up something for her, great, but you don't have to try to take her to a fancy restaurant. Do what's within your budget. She's going to appreciate you, and she likes you for who you are. She's going to appreciate you for the things you're doing, regardless of you trying to make, spend $500 on her on a night. Like, if $20 all you can spend and it goes to ice cream and Andy's, or ice cream and Cold Stone, wherever ice cream spot, and y'all go for a walk, let that be it. Let that be your date. But do not try to outspend your means. The money will come, but focus on your finances first. Get that stuff set up. Your girlfriend's with you, and as long as she's not, making it about money, you guys are good. So that's the advice I would give your son. Like, focus on your finances. Do not try to outspend your budget for your girlfriend. Your girlfriend's going to appreciate you regardless of the finances or not. And if she doesn't appreciate you for not the financial stuff, she's like, well, I want this, I want that, and she make it all about money, then you might have to leave her because she's not the girl for you, or she have to leave you because you're not the guy for her. But for the most part, just enjoy the moment. Do stuff within your budget. Do not try to match the dad who's been in the game, who's been, if he worked for that, he's had money for, let's say, 30 years. You're 20. He's probably 60. 50. He probably had money for a very long time and had time to build up to it. So do not try to use a 20-year-old's budget to compete against a 50-year-old's budget. So that would be my advice for your son. Next question: what do I do if a guy hasn't messaged me in 48 hours after an amazing date? I'm gonna go to Too Long Didn't Read. She said, slept with a guy on the first date, mentioned wanting to see me again, went away on holiday for 2 weeks, and has been back for 48 hours, hasn't said anything to me, haven't heard anything from him, dealing with anxious attachment issues. So she wants to know, what can she do about this? To me, he went away for 2 weeks. You guys went on a date. 2 weeks happened. Y'all went on a date, and then 2 weeks happened, and he hasn't responded back to you. To me, I would not put my eggs in this basket. I would say keep your head up, keep moving. I know you're dealing with ancient attachment, but also the guy wanted to speak to you. One of those, if he would, he would. If he wanted to speak to you while he was gone for 2 weeks, came back in town. He'd been in town for 48 hours, and he would reach out. He'll reach out to you. But I would not put all my eggs into a basket of a guy you just met on a date. I would keep your options open. If he shows back up, pop back up, and you feel like giving him time, you can give him the time. But if he doesn't pop back up, you keep it going. Find somebody else. Remember, you're the prize. You're the catch. So do not let somebody else sit there and like, well, I'm going to wait here. I'm going to sit here and collect dust and wait for somebody to find me. No. You keep it moving. You keep it rolling. Keep your options open. If he comes back around, great. You can give him a shot. If he doesn't, keep it moving. I know you're dealing with anxious attachment, but as far as the dude goes, do not worry about him. If he reaches back out, he reaches back out. If he doesn't, keep moving. Or you can text him, say, hey, Casper, how's it going? You can reach out to him, see what he's up to, see what his plans are. You say, hey, I know you're back in town. You want to go get coffee, you want to get a drink. That's another option you can do. You can do that. You can reach out to him and see versus waiting. But if you're waiting for him to make the move, then keep it moving. Next question. My girlfriend, 28, admitted she doesn't like my 30 male son and 5 male son being around. Red flag? He's the 30-year-old. Sorry. 30-year-old male, been dating this girl for 6 months, 28 female. I adore everything about her. However, she has openly come out and said she doesn't like me having my 5-year-old son around. She makes plans around the weekends when I do have him as to where we won't be able to see each other, as to avoid having him in our company. At the same time, I expect to continue being fatherly to her daughter, girl, 4 years old. Is there something that will change in time? Is this something I should walk away from? Is there anything I can do to change her thinking? Bro, I really don't want to walk away from this relationship, so I'm asking for input here. You're a father first, man. You are a father first. If she doesn't like your 5-year-old kid, your 5-year-old son, she doesn't like him now, she's not going to like him. You guys progress a year or two from now. You say you've been a fatherly figure to her daughter. Great. Awesome. That's good for you. But she doesn't want your son in the picture. She doesn't like your son. To me, as a father, if I had a kid and somebody I was dating did not want my kid around, I'm out. If they openly said they don't like my kid, I'm out. I'm sorry. My kid comes first. Their protection, their well-being is first. This kid, my son's going to be with me for the rest of my life. At least he's 18. He can go off and do his own thing. But he's going to be there. That's 18 years. You, on the other hand, is like, you don't want my kid. You don't have to be in my picture. You don't have to be in my life. Like, I'm not going to deal with that. I'm not going to deal with somebody disrespecting my kid. So I wouldn't date you. I would cut it off. So for him, you should let it go. She's not going to change her thinking. No matter what you do, don't try to change somebody's mind. Don't try to do it. And you don't want to put your son in a situation where he's getting abused by a lady because she doesn't like him, and whatever reason, whatever grudge she has against a 5-year-old kid, probably nothing against the kids, probably against the previous mother, and the fact that you wasn't a single father, wasn't a single guy with no kids. She probably don't like that. But you've been fatherly to her kid. Good. Great for you. Don't be a dick to kids. But I'm out. Let it be. Don't even deal with that. Like, I understand 6 months. 6 months in the grand scheme of things is not a long time. So you can obviously move on and find somebody else who's going to appreciate you, appreciate your kids, appreciate everything about you, and not just sit there and be like, I'm only here for you. Forget your kids, which don't put your son in a situation. As a father, you should not put your kids in a situation where they don't feel safe in. And I would not do that at all. So be the father first. Moving on. If a girl wants to be like a hookup, fine. We can be a hookup. We can be casual. But as far as relationship goes, this is not going to turn into a relationship because of the fact that you're like my son. He's a big part of my life. He's a part of my life. He's not changing. not for another 13 years. She's not going anywhere. And I don't expect you, because it's not her burden. It's not a burden. It is not her responsibility to be a mother to your son. So I wouldn't expect that. I would not put that on her. So I will just away from the situation. I will go off and do my own thing to my kid, go off and do my own thing. We'll find a lady who's okay with something like the fact that I have a kid, and be cordial and be nice to my kid and actually likes my kid, versus being a jerk, because that can turn to something else worse down the line, and the kid's safety is first. But I do apologize for saying burden, because kids are not a burden, and I didn't want to say burden somebody with that responsibility, because you don't want to burden somebody. Kids are not a burden, but I guess you don't want to put that responsibility on somebody. So that's a horrible way I just put that. I apologize. But yeah, you don't want to put that burden of a kid. Did again. You don't put that responsibility of a kid on somebody. It's not a burden. Kids are not burdens. I apologize. Next question. I slept with him, but I think I'm crushing on his roommate. Please help. I, 28 female, went on a date with this guy, 37 male. Let's call him Josh. He and I didn't have much in common, and he seemed to have some poor judgment. Well, dang. I won't say what his poor life choices are, but it's enough that I figured we weren't right for each other. I still found him attractive, though, and I have had a strong sex drive, so I suggested we try something more casual. Looking back, my wording wasn't great. I told her I had decided I didn't want a committed relationship while I'm studying, because I didn't have the time. So I went to Josh's house for a few casual drinks, and there I met his single best friend and roommate, male 35. Let's call him Mitch. Mitch is currently working in the field I am studying in. He is fun. We share a lot of the same interests, and overall, he's a great golden retriever energy, or he has great golden retriever energy. When drinking and watching sports with both guys, we all got chatty, and it was very obvious that Mitch and I had great chemistry. Mitch was giving me hard eyes, and I could see him trying to subdue himself so Josh wouldn't think he was trying something on his date. Mitch went to bed, and I honestly didn't know what to do. I knew my next choice would have the effects, but I chose to sleep with Josh like I originally intended. It was good. We had a great time, and it was exactly what I thought it would be. I hadn't grown any feelings for Josh, and I knew I could keep up with the casual without having any destabilizing emotions. When I got up the next morning, Mitch was behaving a little different. He was cleaning the house and behaving a little downcast and subdued. His body language seemed to be like he was disappointed I had slept with Josh after all. The whole week after I left, I couldn't stop thinking about Mitch and the potential I felt between us. I also tried to think of it from his perspective and knew if the roles had been reversed, I would have felt hurt and disappointed too. Even if it wouldn't be my place to feel that way. I chose to go back a few weeks later and did the cycle again. But this time it was becoming clear that maybe Josh had developed some kind of feelings for me. And Mitch also seemed a little tired and sad and disappointed. We had a great laugh, but he ended up going to bed early. I'm honestly so lost here. Am I being an asshole for even getting tangled in this? Am I leading Josh on by having sex with him, knowing it could mean more to him? Am I the asshole for wanting his roommate / best friend and wanting to pursue him for more of a serious connection? Do you think Mitch would even want to date me now after I slept with his best friends? He seems like the kind of guy who would logically understand it doesn't matter, but emotion can get in the way. I feel like the only way I can see Mitch again is if I keep things going with Josh. Really? I honestly don't mind doing that because sex is good, but I feel like I'm just making the situation worse. Please tell me what you think, because I'm scared of my own intentions. I don't even know what I'm doing or thinking. And before you guys say something, Mitch isn't on any socials, so there's no way of me contacting him personally without asking for his number through Josh. Okay, so you gotta be upfront with Josh from the jump. You gotta tell Josh that you're not into him for more than anything but sex. Be upfront and honest with Josh. Tell Josh that, like, hey, I'm only in this for sex. I don't have any emotional feelings for you. This is what I want to keep doing. And matter of fact, I would just tell him right then and there, like, after thinking about it, actually, I don't want to keep this going. But tell Josh that you only want him for sex. That was it. And don't say I don't want to keep that. And tell him I don't want to keep it going. I don't think it'd be a good idea for me personally. I would give some time away from Josh and Mitch. I'll probably wait a month, maybe 2, and then hit Josh up and say, hey, may I have Mitch's number, or are you okay with me talking to Mitch? I would ask that question from Josh. I would ask Josh, would it be okay for me to talk to Mitch? And then go from there. Because give it time apart. By giving it time apart, you're allowing everything to settle. Josh learns that, like, okay, you only want me for sex. You didn't really want an actual relationship. And then if Mitch is open to it and Mitch talks, if Josh gives the number to Mitch, I mean, they had a conversation at least, and Mitch and Josh can talk about like whether or not they're okay with, talking to the same girl at one point. But give it time away. I would say stop messing with Josh, give it time away, and after a month or 2, see if Josh was willing to give Mitch. Now, this could be tough because Mitch, if Josh is really feeling for you, he is going to be a little hurt. But I would say give it time away and then see if Josh be willing to give Mitch's your number. Or you can try to get Mitch's number before you leave next time. Like, hey, I had a good time. Y'all guys want to go out? Hey, Mitch, can I exchange numbers with you? If we all out together, I can hit you guys up. But that would try to get Mitch's number, but then I would end it with Josh and go cold turkey for at least a good 2 months. And then, ask Josh, is it cool that I talk to Mitch? If Josh is okay with it, understand the situation, he'd be like, yeah, here's Mitch's number. If he's not okay with it, then you're not going to get to talk to Mitch and maybe bump into Mitch out and about. That'd be my advice to you. Next question. With women making more money and enjoying being single, should men do the same? The way I see it, dating is getting even harder for men who either don't make 6 figures or not extremely handsome. I do like solitude, but the one thing missing is companionship, though friends can fill that hole. So, you think men should do the same? It depends on what you want. Like, one, a lady will find you attractive no matter what you look like. So don't say, well, I'm not extremely attractive, extremely handsome. You don't have to be extremely handsome. You can just be average. A girl will find you attractive. You don't have to make 6 figures for one. A girl will still find you attractive. She's not in it for the money and not in it for just the shallow things like just attractiveness alone. You're going to find somebody who will like you. Now, it comes down to what you're looking for. You say you don't mind being, you don't mind solitude. Means you like being alone. Then at that point, just be alone and enjoy life, enjoy being single, enjoy going out, talking to women, hooking up here and there. If that's what you're into, that's what you want. But yeah, that companionship. Okay. You want companionship. You see, your friends can fill that gap. They can't feel the intimacy though. They can feel the companionship, talking there, but they're not gonna be able to feel that intimacy. So you want intimacy. You don't want just sex. Okay. That's why you're asking for companionship. Then in that case, you got to be looking at yourself like, are you okay with bringing somebody into your life? Or do you want to be alone? You have to ask yourself that question. Because you can still have solitude. You can still date somebody and be in a relationship with somebody and not be around each other 24/7. You have to find somebody else who wants the same vibe and same goals and same goals and intentions and boundaries as you in a relationship. They want, they want to see you 2 or 3 times a week, and then y'all have the next couple of days to do whatever y'all want, and then you come back to each other. You find somebody who wants the same thing. That's not just, okay, every 5 minutes you can't move anywhere because they're underneath you. Like, you can find somebody, you can find a companion who wants the same boundary and space that you want, if that's what you're looking for. But you have to ask yourself, what do you want first? What do you want? And then go by that. Don't try to sit there and like, well, she's not gonna like me because I make 6 figures. If that's the girl and that's the kind of girl that you're looking at, and that's the kind of girl that you're trying to talk to, don't talk to a kind of women. Don't put this in a situation. Talk to a woman who only wants you just for your money. Only wants you just because you look attractive. You don't want that. You want something a little more valuable, a little more less shallow. That's what you want. And be honest with that. And maybe the girls you're going after are the girls who want 6-figure men. Don't chase those women. There's plenty of other women who do not want a six-figure man, who just want somebody who can provide for them and also be, financial stable. There's women who want that, and you can find that. So where are you at? What are you looking for? What are your goals? And look at the kind of women you're chasing. You don't want to chase the women who want six figures. Chase the women who want somebody who's financially stable. Those are two different things. Two different things. All right, this is another one. This is a long one. Give you guys a heads up. Am I the jerk for coping with no sex life in marriage? Wife and I have been together for 10 years. Put that up. 10 years. Married for 4. And we have no sex life. Nothing much else to it other than we just had different libidos. And that's something I had done a lot to come to terms with. So he did a lot of work on himself to come to terms that they just had two different types of sex drive, and that's, he's worked on that for him. This is something I have brought to her attention for quite some time, and even something we exclusively went to couples therapy for, but ultimately came to the conclusion that there's nothing much to do about it because she really can't force herself to want to have sex. And I'm not going to initiate if I feel like that desire and attention isn't going to be reciprocated. So he's not trying to talk to his wife about sex, or trying to bring up sex to her, start something with her because he's afraid of rejection. He don't want to get rejected. She's like, she don't want to have sex, and she's not going to force herself to have sex, which is a good thing for her. But he's not going to put himself and try to force himself to initiate anything with her because he doesn't want to get rejected. So he's not seeing the signs. He's not going to try to make the move. We have intimate touches like hugs and kisses, no problem. Like, they do that, no problem. But the lust and excitement that was once there just isn't there anymore. She never really had the crazy libido before, but once we had a kid, it nuked it completely, which I've been told is pretty normal for women. That's what he says. For some women, by the way, he said normal for some women. Fast forward 3 years, and we are happy as could be. So he said they're happy now. Kiddo is bouncing off the walls. Work and personal lives are great. She goes out with her coworkers whenever she wants, and we share chores. We're both in shape, and I really couldn't ask for a much better partner or marriage. And then there was this one morning. I guess one of her friends sent her one of those couple meme videos on Instagram, and she showed me typical boyfriend randomly spanks you meme. I laughed and said it was funny and didn't think much else of it. About an hour later, she came and asked me why I never do that to her anymore. I didn't think much of the question and casually explained to her why. That's when I do things that, like, it will arouse me, and I want to have sex, but I know she likely won't want to. So I stick to hugging, kissing, holding hands, the kind of intimacy stuff that she really likes or personally likes, to show her I love her. She seemed pretty annoyed and walked off. So there's a video of a boyfriend slapping his girlfriend's ass on Instagram. He laughed at it, and she asked how come he doesn't do that to her. So how come the husband doesn't smack his wife on the butt anymore? And he said, well, for him, that triggers what he want to have sex and want to be intimate, but she doesn't want that, so he's not gonna put herself in a situation to get rejected. He's gonna stick to holding her hands and hugs and kisses. I asked if she was okay, and she said, it's like you're not even sexually attracted to me anymore, which I was confused about, and asked her what made her think of that. I guess I'm not really having initiated anything with her for the better part of 2 years outside of hand holding, outside a handful of times she has made her question whether I find her sexually attractive or not. To which I said jokingly that she doesn't initiate anything either. And the only reason I don't initiate anymore is that I'm tired of being rejected and had to learn to cope with it in post-therapy. There it is. So the wife was like, how come he doesn't initiate? And he's like, how come you don't initiate? How come he's going back to his wife like, well, you don't initiate either. Like, we haven't initiated sex with each other in 2 years. And he's like, I've dealt with this. I went to therapy and talked about this and dealt with this. She sent me a text 30 minutes later. Oh, sorry about that. Missed the spot. Here you go. She then accused me of watching porn, to which I very swiftly shot down. I have no passwords on my phone or laptop. I handed my phone to her and told her to feel free to look through everything. She indeed checked both my phone and laptop and asked me, so what do I do when I'm horny, because she knows that I masturbate. I told her I handled myself with the old photos she has blessed me with. She didn't have anything else to say and stormed off. She sent me a text 30 minutes later apologizing for accusing me of watching porn, but is still upset and that I stopped showing her any sexual attention, which is confusing to me, given to me that she showed zero sexual interest in me. But I can 100% empathize with the idea of not feeling desired. I told her that if she would like, I can start doing those things, which she responded, don't bother. I got mad and said, whatever, man, and went about my day. She's been in the room all day and hasn't bothered to come out except for food or water. This whole situation has thrown me for a loop. The work we did in counseling taught me to be okay with it and taught me to love and be intimate in other ways. I just don't really know how to wrap my head around this situation. It seems so silly and frankly pretty damn unfair. Am I the asshole for adapting to a life with no sex with my wife? I know that's a lot to unpack there. That's a lot to unpack. So the main gist of it, husband and wife, together for 10 years, married for 4 years. She had a kid. They already had 2 different sex drives from the jump. So they already are on 2 different levels. So like he has a higher sex drive than she does. But then they had a kid and, her sex drive even dropped even lower. Kids up and about right now. 3 years later. They're off doing their own thing. They're both in shape. They're both got things going on. Work, life like that. But they don't really focus on each other sexually. And she saw the video and wondered how come her husband don't smack her in the butt anymore. Well, he's like, I don't try to initiate sex anymore because that kind of action, me sucking your butt, grabbing you, stuff like that, gets me horny. I want to hook up. You don't want to hook up. He's like, that's fine. They have to, for me, I don't think you're the jerk in the situation. Like, she can initiate too, at least let you know when she's ready to go or give you some hints or tips or something like that. But also, I say, in a situation, you can try whatever her thing she likes that gets her turned on, that gets her aroused. You can try to hit that again and make sure, see if you can get back to that point where y'all start hooking up again. So my thought process to you would be to take your wife on dates. Start taking her on dates. Start getting that things going. Ask her how she like to be, ask her questions like how you like to be romance, how you like to be, turned on. What thing gets you going? Start asking your wife those questions. Get her start thinking about that. Now I know you asked her whatever you can do, and she said whatever. Like she said nothing. Don't bother. And you said whatever, man. Give it some time, and then ask her like, hey, what can I do? What can I do for you? Do you want to play a game? Like there's a question of would you rather games for adults where you can play that. Like would you rather do this act or do that act? Would you rather be, have relations in the bedroom or in the kitchen? Would you rather, there's different things you can do to try to get you guys, get the sexual drive going again. Take her on dates, take her to places that, spark that attraction. What you guys do when you first start dating each other? Start going from there and then try to incorporate that. I wouldn't do the big vacations or anything like that, like a getaway. I wouldn't do that. I would starting with her emotions, starting to figure out what turns her on again. And you kind of got to go back and re-explore everything all over again. What sound does she give when she's turned on, when she's ready to go? That's what you do in the situation because you already know what turns you on. And you said that you get off the pictures of her that she sent to you. Great. But in this situation, you got to get her back to that mindset. So I would say take her on dates, start asking her questions. What turns you on? What gets you going? And then when she tells you that kind of stuff, stick it to the side. And then one day you plan a date and then you do the thing that she likes. She tells you another thing, stick it to the side. Plan another date, you do the thing that she likes. And then another thing that she likes. Start ramping it up. That's how you want to get her back into that drive. Cause y'all had a kid before. Y'all had a kid. So y'all know y'all was getting busy at one point. So that's what I would tell her. That's what I would do if I was in a situation. Get your wife more sexually attracted to you. And And hopefully she start initiating herself, but you got to get her in the mindset there. So to do that, you got to ask her what is she into, what desires she wants to fulfill, what's her fantasies. Start digging into her mind and start listening to her when she tells you about these things, and start making notes and write them down. And then from there, you can wrap things up and get back into the bedroom. All right, next question. Girlfriend gave her number to a guy. So my girlfriend and I have been together for 5 years. We were hanging out one night and she got a little suspicious as to who I was texting. I didn't tell her right away, of course. This made her more suspicious and accused me of texting a girl. In reality, it was just a male friend of mine. I gave her my phone to see, then I asked if I could see her phone since she was so skeptical of me. She was hesitant at first and then even laughed. She finally caved and opened her phone and immediately went to her messages. Then the phone was handed to me, where I scrolled through briefly up and down and didn't see anything stand out. I asked if I could see her Snapchat and Instagram. At this point, you can tell she was getting nervous. Snapchat was clear, but Instagram had small conversations with a guy where she ended it. Guy, she ended up giving her his number. Apparently, the story was that she was at pool with a bunch of friends, and one of my friends asked the guy over. Apparently he was new to the United States and is looking for friends. They all exchanged Instagram handles. The Instagram conversation with my girlfriend seemed flirtatious from his end. They sent probably like 10 or so messages, and at the end he asked her for her number and she gave it to him. Am I wrong for being mad and feeling betrayed? I feel like she could have said no or sent a fake number. Why did she tell you? I think that would be the question when you asked her, because once she accused you of texting a girl. So that's a first red flag there. If somebody's accusing somebody of doing something, it means the person doing the accusing is probably the one who's in the wrong. So she's guilty right there for texting some random dude, didn't tell you about him at all. Matter of fact, if she wanted to hang out with this guy in the friend circle, she would like, I told you, hey, I met this cool dude from, let's say, Australia. Met this cool dude from Australia. He's in town, came over to the United States. Hey, you want to go out? She would let you know, like, hey, you want to go out to pool? You want to go out to, drink to the bar or something like that? Like, hey, you want to come out with us? Like, she would let you know and tell you that she's going to go out with this guy in a sense of a group setting. Like, it not just be me and him by ourselves. It's going to be him, me, a bunch of other friends. You come along too. We're all getting together. We're going to go out. That's one thing. But the fact that she didn't tell you anything, and then you said the conversation was flirty on his end, which means he's trying to hit on your girl. Okay, girl's attractive. Makes sense. But the fact that she's entertaining it would be the red flag. At this point, I don't see anybody doing anything like cheating, but there are red flags here that I will, be like, hey, I actually don't feel comfortable with you messing this guy. Like, I understand you're a grown adult, you do what you want to do, but I just want to let you know where I'm coming from. I don't feel comfortable you messing somebody and didn't let me know that you was messing this dude. I don't feel comfortable you kind of seeing me sneaky and going behind my back while messing this guy. Like, it's one thing to message somebody, but it's another thing to hide it. And I don't feel comfortable with that. But, you do what you do. I'm just letting you know where I sit at and where I'm standing at. And I'm not giving you ultimatums, but just let you know, hey, this is how I feel. And leave it at that. So you're not wrong to feel betrayed or feel mad about it, because she was kind of like being sneaky about it. But at the same time, she's a grown adult. She got to live her life and kind of sleep in the bed as she makes. But as of right now, this is all red flags. I'm saying this is cheating. But I would definitely be like, hey, I don't feel comfortable with you doing that. I'll let my feelings be known and just leave it like that and keep it moving. Now, one thing I wouldn't do though, I wouldn't be spiteful or be petty to your girlfriend because she messaged some dude messaged her and she gave her number to him. They're going back and forth. Like, unless you got evidence of them like actually cheating and them actually like she went out and meet up with this dude. Now, you said she did scroll through her phone messages and it's like she was deleting stuff, or not deleting, just go through her phone messages for a moment before giving you her phone, which could be a little suspicious. But you actually catch evidence of her cheating on you, then that's your decision to make. But like, if you're looking at this and you're like, as a red flag, I don't like it, and it gets to the point where it bothers you so much, you might have to end your relationship. I'm gonna just be honest with you. If you can't see yourself getting past this, and this eats you alive, and you're sitting there just constantly letting it eat you away, then maybe be like, you know what? I'm not dealing with this. I don't feel comfortable in this relationship anymore. I don't feel secure in this relationship anymore. I'm going to hit the road. But if you're perfectly fine, y'all talked about it, y'all aired it out, you tell her how you feel, and she's like, all right, I'm done talking to this dude. I won't do that again. I'm going to apologize. Let the apology sit. Do not try to go play tit for tat. Do not be petty. It's like, all right, well, keep it going. We'll move on from here. But you can't let that go. Now say, maybe it's time for you to end a relationship. Just gets another food for thought there. Next question. Girlfriend's upset I would leave her if she cheated on me because she wouldn't leave me if I cheat on her. She says that I don't love her like she loves me. Look, I love my girlfriend. I've been with her for a year. We made so much memories and so much love, and honestly, she's the girl I want to be with forever. She's my forever girl. I risk my life for her. She's my diamond. Every time I look at her, I see an angel. She also is my first relationship, so one can only imagine how hard I feel for her and how much I love her. Well, we always have this conversation and it ends up with us arguing. Now my girlfriend Amaya definitely has some type of trauma because of all her previous relationship. She was really wrong and she definitely has had her fair bit of trauma. But me, I don't care. I gave her an environment where she can feel safe and loved and get the relationship she wanted. No, I'm not a perfect boyfriend. I messed up all of that, but never ever will I cheat on her or anything close to it. I discussed with her that no matter what you do and what goes on, I'm going to be here. Just don't cheat on me. Now all of a sudden I don't love her, and she then says our relationship is for the moment and probably won't last very long, which is a red flag. Like, MF, I already see it's a red flag like a MF. Why did his writing go out like he's just typing angry? I already see that I just don't know what's going through her head. Just don't cheat. That's what he said. So they keep having a conversation. So it sounds like she's had past experiences where her previous exes have cheated on her and she stayed with them because she's saying she stayed with them out of love. And he's like, hey, my boundary is don't cheat on me. I don't, everything else we can go through, fine, but do not cheat on me. That is a boundary of mine. And if you cheat on me, I'm out. It's not because I don't love you, because I just don't want to put myself in a situation where I want to be cheated on and stay with somebody who I have no kids with, no financial, no attachment with, anything else with. There's nothing else here but just our companionship and our intimacy and what we bring to each other. If you cheat on me, you breaking that boundary, I'm out. You're not in the wrong for this, man. And I would say stick to that boundary. Don't let her try to, do something and then hold you into it because that fact that she cheated on you. Now, she said your relationship is in the moment. That is a red flag as well. To say that your relationship is in the moment and, won't happen very long. Let me see, go back to it. She said, I don't love her, and she then said our relationship is for the moment and probably won't last very long, which means she already has an idea of what her relationship is and what she's doing here. This is a red flag, 1000%, and it sounds like she's already 1 foot out the door. She probably has already cheated on you and wanted to see if you're going to say I'll stay with you regardless, because then she'll tell you 100% what the truth is. But let's not assume that she did that. Let's go off of what she's giving us right now. Right now, she is saying, you won't stay with me if I cheat on you, and then you don't love me. In that case, I'll be like, hey, here's my boundary. Don't cross that boundary. You cross that boundary, this is, I'm done. I love you, but I will be done with our relationship. I'm not going to put myself in that situation. And that's how I feel. This is my reaction to it. I just want to let you know. So I won't continue this relationship if, it comes out that you cheat on me. I just won't do that. And the fact that she said your relationship is in the moment, then I'm like, well, as our relationship is in the moment, I'm going to sit here and enjoy this moment as long as I can until you're ready. I'll be like, until you're ready to end it, I'm going to be here. I would look differently at your relationship though, unless you want to keep this going, but I wouldn't be surprised, a couple months from now, she breaks your heart and ends the relationship. You already got told the red flag. It's right there. That's your point to be like, all right, we're just the moment. I don't see us being the moment. I'm going to end it and go find somebody else who wants to be with me more than just the moment. She said a year. Y'all been together for a year and y'all just the moment. I would look at that and be like, you know what? I'm going to take this opportunity to revive our relationship. If I want to continue with this moment, I'm going to stay in the moment. If I don't, I want to move on to find somebody who doesn't want this relationship just for a moment. I want the relationship to last, forever. Like you just said, that's your forever girl. Well, your forever girl is telling you you're not a forever guy. You're just a moment guy. So keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. Next question. My hubby said I am unconventionally attractive. Does that mean I'm ugly? I always consider it to be mean that someone is low-key kind of ugly but attractive somehow in a unique way. My husband recently said that I'm unconventionally attractive and I was shocked when he said this. Let me first say that I don't think I'm super hot or anything. I think I have good traits, but I think I also have less than ideal traits as well. I was just surprised that he said this because I figured it was sort of an insult, if anything, or a backhanded compliment. He insisted that it's a compliment and he thinks I'm very beautiful. He likes the unique things about me, and he thinks that people who are only attractive to conventionally attractive people are shallow. I told him that he's essentially called me ugly, and he firmly disagreed. So what do you think unconventionally attractive actually means? Edit. For those who are wondering what I look like, I would say I'm more conventionally attractive features. I have included being skinny and petite, having larger eyes, and I'm a ginger. As for unconventionally attractive features, I have been skinny because it has its own setbacks, and people love the skinny shame these days. Small boobs, wide set eyes, a Roman nose, a deep voice for a girl, and the things I've always hated most. I have a large Adam apple for a girl. My hubby says he doesn't want me to change anything about myself. I wonder what started this conversation. Let's be honest, for one. Like, what dude was like, hey, you're unconventionally attractive. Now, unconventionally attractive, I would say what media, when it comes to what attractiveness is, because attractive different for different people. Is beauty is in the eye of the beholder. Your husband finds you very beautiful. I would take that right there. Now, would the society say or media say, would you be posted over, certain magazines like Vogue magazine or Sports Illustrated magazine or the swimsuit edition? Would you be on those covers? No, I don't think what media consider what conventionally attractive, what media thinks it is, I don't think most people fit in that. Most average people, unless the media is looking for them, looking for them. Now, maybe your style is different. Maybe your style is this, and maybe you carry yourself a different way where he's like, damn, this girl is gorgeous to me, beautiful. But then, would you be on a magazine cover? No. Are you hitting? No. I'm trying to think what. But then again, attraction for men is different. I guess everybody can look at a girl and be like, yeah, she's attractive, but then again, body attraction is different. She said she's skinny, so I mean, she probably don't have what. Yeah, actually, she said it. She's like, I don't have big boobs and I don't know. I don't know what what attractive. I'm just trying to think of what media says conventionally attractive is. And I will say what media thinks it is. You don't fit into that category. You won't be on a cover of Vogue magazine. You won't be on a cover of Sports Illustrated swimsuit magazine. And that's perfectly fine. What matters is that your husband finds you attractive, your husband's attracted to you, and he loves you for who you are and don't want you to change anything. That's what matters. Now, I don't know what would cause that conversation for him to say, are you're unconventionally attractive? Probably because if you ask him that question, do you find me attractive or am I societally attractive? Then he probably was like, you're unconventionally attractive, but I love you. You're a ginger, which gingers are hot. So I don't know about that one. I don't know. I just don't know where that conversation came up. For me, I can say societally, I'll probably consider not conventionally attractive. I'm not above 6 feet. I'm 5'7", and I'm balding before the age of I was balding for the age of 30. Right then and there, I'm out the picture of half the women who looking for that kind of guy. But this is what I did to make myself super attractive. One, I'm confident in who I am. I know who I am. I know what I'm about. When I saw what's happening, when I started bald, I was like, you know what? There's athletes that are bald, like Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant. I'm about to go bald. I'm going to take my bald look. I call my Jordan look. I grew my beard out because I was clean shaved at one point. You can go watch my older videos on my Ali movie breakdown channel. You can see my Ali review channel. Look at any reviews. You can see what I looked like back in 2017, 2016. But I grew my beard out, shaved my head, and I walk in the room like I'm 6'7". Like, I'm 5'7". I walk with my head up high. I walk with my shoulders up, and when I walk in this room, I'm like, my presence is known. I act that way. Now, do I act egotistical? No. Do I put people down? No. It's just the confidence I carry by myself. I have to be my own biggest cheerleader. So your husband's like, oh, you're unconventionally attractive. One, I would say, what caused him to say that? Because he just came out of nowhere to say that. And two, if you are unconventionally attractive, who cares? Carry yourself with the utmost confidence in yourself. Carry yourself like you are a runway model. Carry yourself like you're on that Vogue cover, regardless of now you're going to be on a Vogue cover. Like for me, I know for a fact that people are not going to come down like, Ali, I want you to be on the cover of Sports Illustrated or cover of GQ. I'm not going to have somebody come out and say that to me. I just don't fit the standard of a male model. That's what I am. But I know who I am. I know how I'm carrying myself. I'm walking the room. Yeah, and people actually question that I'm 5'7" sometimes because they're like, "You're only 5'7". Like, yeah, I'm not that tall. I'm actually considered a short king. So carry yourself how you want to carry yourself. If you think you're unconventionally attractive, or you think you're attractive, conventionally attractive, then be that. Kick that energy. Be your own biggest cheerleader. Kick that energy. Keep it high. As long as you're not putting other people down, body shaming or making fun of people, you're good. Keep that confidence up. Carry yourself head high. Walk into that room like you own that room. And then also be the person in the room that's not that smart and learn from somebody while you're in that room. That's what you want to be. And your husband say you're attracted to him, then you're attracted to your husband, and you can't take that from your husband because one, he finds you attractive, think you're beautiful, then that's all that matters at the end of the day. All right, next question. Am I the jerk for not wanting husband to get drinks with somebody he cheated on me with? I've been married to my husband for 4 years, and we've been together for a total of 15 years. 10 years ago, we were still dating. He cheated on me. We had been together for 2 years at this point. The physical aspect of the affair lasted 6 months. Good Lord. But I believe there was emotional cheating and in an inappropriate amount of intimacy for closer to 1 year before they stopped contact. It is my understanding that they rarely talk anymore. And as we moved across the country, he told me yesterday that she will be in town for a conference. She lives across the country in our home state. We live in a large West Coast city now, and asked if I was okay with him to get a drink with her. My initial thoughts are, hell no. Why would he even want to keep in contact with somebody who has caused me so much pain? He was caught off guard. The cheating was close to 10 years ago at this point. It was before we were married, and I have no proof of suspicion of anything going on. Am I being unreasonable in his defense? They were friends before anything physical happened. Am I the asshole for telling him he can't get a drink? Why not show up with him? Why not go get a drink with him? If he wants to talk to somebody that 10 years ago before you got married, so he stayed with you, he put a ring on your finger, he went ahead and got over that, and y'all got married. Y'all married, been together for 15 years. I would say you're not wrong in feeling that he shouldn't go see somebody that he cheated on you with, but he said like 10 years ago. That was a full decade ago. I would say, can I come get a drink with y'all? Can I join y'all on this? Like, does he have to go by himself? Ask him, can you go with him? That way he get his cake and eat. He can talk to this person he hadn't talked to for years that he was once a close friend with. Apparently, they were friends before anything physical happened. So he can talk to a friend, see how they're doing, and see because she could be different in her life. She probably have kids and family, all this other stuff. So I would say you're not wrong to feel some kind of way, but also you realize the time gap. It was 10 years ago before you even got married. You stuck with him. You stayed with him after the cheating. You kept that going. Then at that point, he's like, she's got over this. She's done with that. We made it through. We got through some rough times. I cheated. She stayed with me. She kept me. I put a ring on her finger. I would ask, can I go with you? I would ask that. If that's how you like, if you don't want him not going, if you trust him and you think he's not gonna do anything, ask him, can I go with you? If he says sure, come along, babe. There you go. What you have to be worried about. But if he's like, no, get defensive about you coming, then I'll be like, all right, we might have to talk about this again and see where we're at and explain your side, explain how you feel about this, and tell him that you actually felt hurt from all those cheating. You never really let that cheating go, and be okay with that. Be open with your husband. Say, I didn't let the cheating go. I thought I'd be over it, but I'm not. I'm actually glad we moved, and now here she is coming to the city to be a homewrecker. Like, you can, I'm gonna call her a homewrecker, but that's what you can tell how you feel about it. You can tell him how you feel and go from there. So, but I would ask, can you go with him? Can you go with him? He's okay with that, then you know he has nothing to worry about. He gets defensive about that. At that point, be like, okay, what's going on? Because if they was friends with somebody, he was friends with them prior to the cheating, I'd be like, oh, go see your friend. But the cheating part what makes everything muddy. So to me, I would ask your husband, can you go with him? If he says he's down with you to come, you're good to go. You know there's nothing going on. If he gets defensive, then you might have to have a conversation and you really have to lay it out to him why you feel this way. And don't just say, well, I don't feel justified you going. Actually tell him that you feel some kind of way because that's the person that he cheated on you with. So yeah, ask him. Ask him you go with him and then go from there. All right, 2 more questions. We'll call it a night. My boyfriend has this fantasy of watching me be with other men. I love my boyfriend. He is so sweet, loving, affectionate, and he makes me feel more special than any man has in a very long time, or ever really. But one night when we were drinking and partying together, he revealed to me that he really liked to watch me have sex with another man while he watches, or to have me be like double penetrated by him and another guy or whatever. Or whatever. He isn't gay or bi or anything. Not that it would matter or be an issue. There's just no need for the replies asking that question. I just can't shake this sick feeling that I get when I think about him wanting to see me like that. Don't get me wrong, I love sex and would be down for some freaky stuff like that between just me and him, or even have a casual threesome when I'm not in a relationship. I just feel like for me, it feels wrong when you really love and respect someone. Can anyone else relate to how I'm feeling? It just doesn't feel like love to me, but I can't tell if these are just my own personal hangups or what. It's just hard because he really is a wonderful and I just am not sure of what I'm feeling. And just to be clear, I am in no way judging anybody's kink or whatever. I have plenty of my own to look for some different perspective to my own. Okay, so for him, this is a fantasy of his. It's a kink for him. Like he wants to be cuckold. I'm gonna say yeah, I think it's called cuckold. He wants to be cuckold. That's his fantasy. He wants to see somebody else. He wants to see his wife have their way with somebody else while he sits in the corner. It's really awkward you say that. And it's in your right to say, hey, I don't feel comfortable with you fulfilling that fantasy. I don't feel comfortable fulfilling that fantasy. You say you don't mind a threesome when you're not in a relationship. So for you, it's that relationship part of it that's like, okay, you guys say y'all together. Now, he's like, he doesn't love you. No, he can love you 100%. But his fantasy is not about love. His fantasy is more about the sexual situation, the sexual attraction, the sexualness of the whole thing. It's not an actual love thing. It's a sexual fantasy that he has. I've said it before, sex isn't love. So for a guy, like, because we're having sex with somebody doesn't mean we actually love that person. So for him, he's like, I want this sexual fantasy fulfilled. I love you, but this is not about love. This is about sexual fantasy. And you can tell him, I don't feel comfortable doing that. I completely understand it's your kink of yours. It's just something that I just not comfortable with doing. I don't want to lose or jeopardize our relationship. That's what you really about. You care about the relationship more than anything. You like, if you're single, you will have at it. You don't care. You'll be in a threesome. But the fact that you're not single and that you're in a relationship, you just tell them like, hey, I don't feel comfortable while we're in a relationship doing that. And I can't fulfill that fantasy of yours. I don't want to lose our relationship. I feel like if we do that, we're going to lose our relationship. Be upfront, honest with him about that. And hopefully he looks at that and look at his relationship and say like, you know what? I don't want to lose you either. I don't want to lose you over a sexual fantasy. I completely understand. We won't progress to that. and won't do anything like that. And maybe over time you like, you know what, I want to explore this fantasy as well. Boom, have at it. But at this point in time, telling like I don't feel comfortable with this at this point in time. I don't want to jeopardize our relationship or put our relationship in an awkward state. You know, that's a fantasy that you want to have. Say that to him and see how he responds to you from there. All right, final one. This is a long one too, so where to end it off. I'm 18 male and my girlfriend, 18 female, got mad at me when I told her I was uncomfortable with her posting sexually explicit images on socials. For context, we've been dating 10 months, moved in together. Relationship has been rocky from the past couple of months. I come from a very traditional family. She comes from a very progressive family. My girlfriend will oftentimes send me explicit images, and about a week ago, she took and sent me some lewd pictures. She was suggestively posed with a very risque bra on and jeans pulled about to the low as possible and fly down. A few days after she had sent me these pictures, she asked my permission to post them to her Instagram. I told her that I appreciate that she asked me, but I really wasn't comfortable with her posting them. I told her that some of the guys that were following her were already being forward with her. In some cases, long before we met, and it just didn't feel right to me. She told me that she felt like I shouldn't be in control of her body, to which I responded that she is the one that asked me permission to post. She had no right to get upset with me voicing my opinion. Okay, let's stop right there. So, girlfriend wants to post risque pictures on Instagram, social media, whatever the case may be. She asked her boyfriend it's okay that she posts them. He said no, he don't feel comfortable with her posting those pictures because there's guys on there who probably trying to talk to her for sexual reasons only, not just, you know, the pictures that she posts. So the attention that she's getting is the attention that he doesn't want her to get because he knows the intentions of other guys. Recently, I've taken a picture of her in the same outfit, but this time she had a jacket over it and was blowing smoke into the camera. Today, she asked me if she could post that picture, and I said it was fine. It matched her aesthetic and was infinitely more modest than the first. That caused her to blow up and argue that it was the same exact outfit and that I was contradicting myself, and all I wanted to do control her. I can believe that she was saying these things, so I removed myself from her presence after and told her that I needed some alone time. By now, on top of all this, I found out that her ex-boyfriend, who is problematic in his own way, is following this account, which is an issue for me, especially considering the current situation. Okay, so the ex-boyfriend is around on the account too, so therefore you don't like the ex-boyfriend, get that. And she probably did that as a test to see if you was going to let her post that picture with a jacket over it. So that's what that was. But we're not going to get into the ex story. So, too long, didn't read. My girlfriend asked to post pictures to her Instagram that her ex is following. I told her I wasn't comfortable with it, which upset her. She asked my permission again for the same outfit, and it upset her. Was I wrong in telling her I wasn't comfortable with her posting that picture? Is it wrong for her to be following her ex and him to follow her? How should I tell her that this is an issue for me? Edit. I hadn't included all of her concerning behaviors, and some people seem to remember me posting about them a few months ago, but I am just an idiot that isn't breaking up with a girl I know is bad for me. I talked to her mother about it, which wouldn't do that, who I have utmost respect, and for one is the most insightful, intelligent woman I've ever met. Well, okay. About my concerns, she has backed her daughter through and through. This has immediately very much impacted the way I see the situation, because I don't know what her mother could stand to gain from us staying together, though at the same time a mother will naturally come to her daughter. Okay, come on. Also, when I say that I wanted her to be a virgin and to be her first love, I never voiced these desires to her, and I wasn't outwardly searching for someone fitting that criteria. Instead, she knew that I would find it attractive and told me these lies because of what she knew about me from our colleagues. Virginity isn't and never was a deal breaker for me. I never asked for this information. It was volunteer. Whew, that's a lot to unpack. Okay, so your girlfriend's not a virgin. All right, fine. And That has nothing to do with the situation, so I'm not sure why you threw that in there. And probably from a little patch I didn't want to read about the ex-boyfriend, because that was a little too much. The ex-boyfriend had nothing to do with the situation here. The situation that you are concerned with, you want your girl posting, sexually explicit lewd pictures on social media. Let's go back to at the beginning here. You said, I come from a very traditional family and she comes from a progressive family. Your relationship has been rocky for the past few months now and y'all moved in together. Let's go back to that traditional and progressive. Y'all have two different viewpoints on life. Y'all have two different viewpoints on how one person expresses themselves and another person expresses themselves. You want a girl who's more traditional? Sir, you need to break up with your girlfriend and get somebody who's more traditional. She's not going to be somebody who's going to be traditional. She's not going to fit this mold for you. She wants to post those pictures on social media. Let her post those pictures on social media. You can't stop her from doing that. She's a person, a human being, and she says she don't want to be controlled. Then she needs to find somebody who will let her post pictures on social media, who wouldn't care that she's getting follows and likes from people and exes are following her. As long as she's not communicating with her ex, as long as she's not sitting there and entertaining her ex, he can follow all he wants. Let him be there. Let him look. But as long as she's not giving him attention, you're fine. You're giving your girlfriend attention, you're doing all this stuff, but let her be her. And she doesn't fit the mode of being what you consider modest. Go find a girl that fits that mode. Y'all 18 years old. Y'all haven't experienced adulthood yet. Y'all just turned adults. Go out there and experience life. Like, I'll say put this relationship on hold. Break up with your girlfriend. And y'all come back, after being separate for years from now. Then y'all can come back and try to entertain this thing again. But at this point, you want a more modest chick. She's not a modest. She's not, I won't say not modest. She's not what you consider modest and traditional. Go find that traditional girl. Go find that girl who doesn't want to post on social media, who doesn't care about posting scantily clad pictures. Go find that girl. But don't complain when that girl doesn't do the things that this current girlfriend does. Don't complain that she doesn't send me risky pictures. She don't let me take pictures of her. Don't complain. You want a traditional girl, go get that traditional girl. Go get what you want. Social dating apps, all of it is out there. You have, the world is your oyster. So don't put yourself in a situation or put yourself in a relationship that you're not happy with. Go get what you want. If you're not happy with somebody who's not matching your traditional stance of where your values traditionally are, go find that. And she need to go find a guy who will be more progressive and allow her to be what she wants and wouldn't be, hesitant or wouldn't be upset that she's posting pictures online because she's with a guy who's, and I say you're not secure with who you are, but he's secure the fact that she can post pictures online and understand that she's not going to leave him for somebody else who likes it, who's sliding her DMs. Go date what you want to date, both of y'all. So I say in this relationship, y'all 18 years old, y'all have so much more years to focus on dating and relationship. Matter of fact, y'all should just get through college first. Get through college, get through university, get through that. I wouldn't even worry about trying to, focus on a relationship that you guys are incompatible at this point in time. Like, go find somebody who meet you compatibility and adds value to your life, and don't disrupt it that you haven't had fights over petty things like her posting a picture and you're trying to control her. But yeah, side note, that picture of her taking the jacket on and then posting that same picture, the jacket does change it, I would say, but that was her trying to test you to see if you're going to be different about it. That was. Just a heads up. But all right, that's it, guys. That's enough questions for today. What do you think of these questions? What do you think of the answers on this episode of Nerdy Dating? And you guys want me to answer a question, please put in the comment section below and I get to as best I can. Or you can message me on Instagram and TikTok at alizakkanerdydating. I would get that question put on the next episode of the podcast. And also, last but not least, you can email alizakkanerdydating@gmail.com. That's alizakkanerdydating@gmail.com. And I'll answer your question on the show. Well, thank you guys so much for watching Nerdy Dating. See y'all next episode and keep being awesome. Thank you for watching this episode of Nerdy Dating. I really appreciate it. If there's another episode you want to watch, you can look at it right there. If you want to subscribe to the page and watch more content, it's down here. Also, you have a question about dating, you want to put it in the comment section, go ahead and do it. Or you can send me your dating question to my email of alizakkanerdydating@gmail.com. That's alizakkanerdydating@gmail.com. And I will answer your question on the next episode of Nerdy Dating. Thank you so much for watching the show. I appreciate you and keep being awesome.